Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dread Time Stories. I'm your host, Dr. Phobia, and tonight our story comes from the world of creepypastas, more specifically, gaming creepypastas. Now, I believe this is a first for the channel, but I don't think it'll be the last, because honestly, this is one of the best creepypastas I have ever read. It is definitely in my top 5, so I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I do. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's tale, Pale Luna. In the last 15 years, it has become infinitely easier to obtain exactly what you're looking for by way of a couple of keystrokes. The internet has made it all too simple to use a computer to change reality. An abundance of information is merely a search engine away, to the point where it's hard to imagine life as any different. Yet, a generation ago, when words, streaming, and torrent were meaningless save for conversations about water, people met face to face to conduct software swap parties, trading games and applications on Sharpie labeled 5 1/4 inch floppies. Of course, most of the time the meets were a way for frugal, community-minded individuals to trade popular games like King's Quest and Maniac Mansion among themselves. However, a few early programming talents designed their own computer games to share amongst their circle of acquaintances, who in turn passed it on until, if fun and well-designed enough, an independently developed video game had its place in the collection of aficionados across the country. Think of it as the 80s equivalent of a viral video. Pale Luna, on the other hand, was never circulated outside of the San Francisco Bay Area. All copies have been long disposed of. All computers that have ever run the game are now debris buried under layers of filth and polystyrene. This fact is attributed to another of rather intrusive design choices made by its programmer. Pale Luna was a text adventure in the vein of Zork and the Lurking Horror, at a time when said genre was swiftly going out of fashion. Upon booting the game, the player was presented with a screen almost completely blank, except for this text. You are in a dark room. Moonlight shines through the window. There is gold in the corner, along with a shovel and a rope. There is a door to the east. Command. So began the game that one writer for a long out-of-print fanzine described as enigmatic, nonsensical, and completely unplayable, as the only commands the game would accept were pick up gold, pick up shovel, pick up rope, open door, and go east. The player was soon presented with the following: reap your reward. Pale Luna smiles at you. You're in a forest. There are paths to the north, west, and east. Command. What quickly infuriated the few who've played the game was the confusing and buggy nature of the second screen, onward. Only one of the directions would be the correct one. For example, on this occasion, a command to go any direction other than north would lead to the system freezing, requiring the operator to hard boot the entire computer. Further, any subsequent screens seem to merely repeat the above text, with the difference being only the directions available. Worse still, the standard text adventure commands seem to be useless, only accepting non-movement related prompts were use gold, which caused the game to display the following message: not here. Use shovel, which brought up not now. And use rope, which prompted the text, you've already used this. Most who've played the game progressed a couple of screens into it before becoming fed up with having to constantly reboot and tossing the disc in disgust, writing it off as an experience by a shoddy programmer. However, there is one thing about the world of computers that remains true. No matter what the era, some people have used them have way too much time on their hands. A young man by the name of Michael Nevins decided to see if there was more to Pale Luna than met the eye. 5 hours and 33 screens worth of trial and error and unplugged computer cords later, he finally managed to make the game display a different text. The text in this new area read, "Pale Luna smiles wide. There are no paths. Pale Luna smiles wide. The ground is soft. Pale Luna smiles wide. Here, command." It was still another hour before Nevin stumbled upon the proper combination of phrases to make the game progress any further. Dig hole, drop gold, then fill hole. This caused the game to display "Congratulations" and the following coordinates, upon which the game ceased to accept commands, requiring the user to reboot one last time. After some thinking, Nevins came to the conclusion that the numbers referred to lines of latitude and longitude. The coordinates led to a point in a sprawling forest that dominated the nearby Lassen Volcanic Park. As he possessed much more free time, Nevins vowed to see Pale Luna through to its ending. The next day, armed with a map, a compass, and a shovel, he navigated the park's trails, noting with amusement how each turn he made corresponded roughly with those he took in the game. Though he initially regretted bringing along the cumbersome digging tool on a mere hunch, the paths similarly but all confirmed his suspicion that the journey would lead him face to face with an eccentric buried treasure. Out of breath after a tricky struggle to the coordinates, he was pleasantly surprised to literally stumble upon a patch of uneven dirt. Shoveling as excitedly as he was, it would be an understatement to say that he was taken aback when his heavy strokes unearthed the badly decomposing head of a blonde-haired little girl. Nevins reported the situation to authorities. The girl was identified as Karen Paulson, 11, reported as missing to the San Diego Police Department a year and a half prior. Efforts were made to track down the programmer Pale Luna, but it led to the near-anonymous legal gray area in which software swapping communities operated, and it led to many more dead ends. Collectors have been known to offer upwards of 6 figures for an authentic copy of the game, and the rest of Karen's body was never found. Well, that, my friends, was Pale Luna. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening. So like I always say in closing, check under your bed, look in your closet, and sleep with the light on. The life you save may very well be your own. Good night, everyone.